40 years after adopting technology from the USA, Taiwan now leads the world in semiconductor foundries with a global market share of more than 66%. Between 1990 and 2019, the value of annual IC exports grew by more than 70-fold, eventually exceeding $100 billion. The industry employs 150,000 people, or the equivalent of 10% of Taiwan's workforce. Its science parks is home to the world's largest semiconductor foundry, TSMC, whose operating profit in 2021 was $20 billion and was the world's 11th most valuable company. The Foundations for Development, 1974 to 1979. These accomplishments can be traced back to the Integrated Circuit Project that was initiated by the government of Taiwan in 1974. Taiwan's commitment to semiconductor technology was born of the 1973 economic necessity when the economy was suffering from an oil crisis and the government was seeking advanced industries replace its labor-intensive industry. A key initiative was setting up Industrial Technology Research Institute to undertake applied research and provide technical help to the industry. RCA Technology Transfer. In February 1974, the Minister for Economic Affairs was advised by a Taiwanese expatriate at the Radio Corporation of America, RCA, to develop the semiconductor industry. In March 1976, the Industrial Technology Research Institute signed a 10-year contract with RCA to acquire semiconductor technologies and train 30 personnel. The young engineers returned to work at ITRI and produced the first chip in 1977. Nurturing semiconductor companies, 1979 to 1989. The Taiwanese government established the Hsinchu Science Park in 1980 to enable spin-off companies from ITRI. The first corporate spin-off was United Microelectronics Corporation, UMC, in 1980 and marked the starting point of semiconductor manufacturing in Taiwan. A number of spin-offs followed, Syntec in 1983, TSMC in 1987, TMC in 1988, and Vanguard in 1994. By the end of this period, 25 domestic design houses and 8 semiconductor manufacturing companies were operating in Taiwan. TSMC reshapes the industry. TSMC was founded in 1987 by Morris Chang, a US-trained engineer and a Texas Instruments veteran. Chang was persuaded to lead ITRI by Taiwan's Economic Affairs Minister. 2 weeks into his term, the Taiwanese government asked Chang to draft a plan to start a new semiconductor company in Taiwan. The deadline was 1 week, later shortened to 4 days. TSMC's founding was timely as entrepreneurs in Silicon Valley wanted to solve the problem of access to fabrication capability that integrated players like Intel would not easily make available to competitors. The government agreed to take a minority stake of 48% so TSMC does not become a state-owned company, and left Chang to raise the remaining 52%. After a year of pitching domestic and international companies, Philips Electronics of Holland agreed to take a 27.5% investment with total equity capital of $35 million. For the first quarter-century, TSMC made mostly unremarkable microprocessors. That began to change in 2012 when Apple contracted TSMC to make its chips. Apple liked the way TSMC made trade secret protection one of his priorities. Handing off control, 1989 to 2000. Beginning in the early 1990s, the government gradually changed its support strategy for the semiconductor industry from government oversight and subsidization to tax incentives and investment. Conclusion: Taiwan's semiconductor sector's success is driven by its government strategy, its disciplined execution, presence of a willing technical partner, aggressive attraction of overseas-trained talent, empowerment of entrepreneurs, and the personal attention of decision-makers at the highest levels.